KHUUL. Hello YouTube, this is Nick, Tom, and John. Welcome to my video. We're making a logo. Cool. Cool. It's for my buddy, Ron. Yes. Ron's a new friend. He runs like a resale business where he finds vintage stuff and he resells them. Ron, what do you know about Canadian vintage? We rock that vintage hockey gear, bro. Yeah. Vintage old logo. Doesn't stop there. Old vintage Canucks shirt, embroidery on the top. Oh my god, 3-color silkscreen on black. 1992. Nutmeg patch. Single stitch. I put this stuff on for inspiration. Vintage resale business logo named KHUUL. Me and Ron, we actually share a common interest. Vintage recycling clothing. All this fast fashion, people just throw away their garments, you know, the amount of chemicals that's needed to make that stuff, or labor ethics that go along with that. Recycling clothing is pretty good for the environment. We should all be doing it. I love going to the thrift store, you know, something vintage, looking for that single stitch, perfect pair of Levi's. I'll close the video right now. Go to the thrift store. Let's do it. Done. We're out of here. Just playing. We're designing a logo. Me and Ron were talking. He mentioned he wanted a new logo. I can do that. One of the things I do. He actually has a really cool business name. It's cool. I like it. I think we're going to do it. I told him we're going to make a video out of it. We're going to come up with a custom logo here. A few pages of a sketchbook. A bunch of ideas for him. Get him to approve the sketch. We're going to make this fun. You ready? Because we're designing a logo. It's going to be fun. Ron the Muscle Man.
Ron the Muscle Man in fucking Thailand. He's going to belly flop. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, that's Ron. And me being silly. You'll see that regularly if you subscribe. A little quick backstory. I was in Krabi. I rented a scooter and I had like an Airbnb rented in a Luke. So I jumped up on my scooter, Thailand, driving through the jungle. Google Map from Airbnb. A route came up. It looked like it was the right place. Said it was in a Luke. Came right out of Airbnb. I went. Google Maps brought me this place. Told me to turn left. I turned left. I went in there. And yeah, it turned out it was the wrong place. I shouldn't have been there. Well, I ended up staying at this random place. Linda, I love you. Thank you for letting me stay. I had an amazing time. It was awesome. I was meant to be there. Totally another subject. Must have met like everybody else by this point that was there that night. Everybody else other than Ron. My first interaction with Ron was, it was an experience. I'm in line, getting my food, minding my own business, just worrying about my own appetite. I feel someone looking at me, someone over my shoulder. Whoa. I look over my shoulder and there's this like guy. It's like a foot taller than me. He's staring me down, looking, he's just squinting his eyes. I'm like, what is this guy doing? So he comes up and he's in the buffet line. He pops in right next to me and he starts looking at my shoulder. He's like looking at my shoulder. I'm like, who does that? Who does that, right? I'm like, dude, when does this guy work here? Like a guest? What's going on with this? I finished plating my food. He comes up to me. He's like, hey, bro, nice shirt. Looks me up and down. I'm like, yeah, I know it's a nice shirt. He's like, how much you want for it? What? Basically, the shirt I was wearing was, maybe it was a Canadian Harley Davidson shirt. Vintage. Single stitch. Big wolf on the front. It was an old shirt. Yeah, the perfect crackling on the silk screen. Oh, it was mint. He's like, how much you want for it? And I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I'm like, I'm wearing this shirt. I'm gonna buy this shirt off my back? Like... Anyway, he ended up paying my bar tab for 2 nights, and I took the shirt off and sold it to him. Oh, he bought that shirt off my back. See that? He's like a foot taller. You can see that. But good times, good food, good company. You may be taller than me, but you're a cool guy. I like you. We're gonna make a logo for you. We've done 3 sketch pages, pretty much packed them up with cool designs for KHUUL Shop, vintage and designer clothing resale business. So everything that goes through him is resold, so recycled and reused and all that good stuff. Early 90s grunge and rap is what his like artist breathe is. That's kind of what we're going for in some of these ideas. Let's explain where I kind of feel some of these ideas can go, which ones I like, which ones I don't like. The top left here, typeface that like I've been kind of doing since high school. I'm playing with stacking like a single word, throw it in on a second line. I think this is kind of a cool one, like kind of like a taggy script. It's nice and modern, simple. I thought I would throw down the Wu-Tang graffiti style stuff. I kind of like this one, KHUUL. This one needs some space. Very simple, but I can do do it in many different ways. I kind of like it. This one right here and this one, I think I like this one a little bit more. This one is all right. Just another tagging idea. Maybe he just wants something that could be like handwritten tag style. Next page. All right. Band posters, early 90s Google search. Please see if I can kind of come up with my own thing. Oasis turned a little bit more into an italic Supreme. I sent Ron a sneak peek. Sent him like a little video and I just flipped through my book. This one was in the bottom left corner, obviously, so he saw it and he's just like, oh, just FYI, you know, I saw that Metallica like idea there. I like it. So I told him, I'm like, oh man, don't get attached to it yet. I have reasons for that. People already associate this with Metallica. So if they see it, they're going to be like, oh, Metallica font. They would have to get a little bit closer to see that it actually says KHUUL. Blink-182. But this reminded me of what his actual old logo was. So I have another idea on the next page, expanding counting on this. Yeah, so it looks kind of like it. So it's kind of like a reboot. Nothing else is really noteworthy here. Get the bad ideas out. You got to draw them. Here's our last page. So this is the one where I kind of expanded on his logo, what it was originally. I kind of drew it out in different ways, kind of like punk rockish. I figured this would have legs. It's obviously the same shape, but I kind of render it and we do it differently each time. The scribble line, bone font, basic, glitch fonts, broken glass font. You can do a bunch of different fonts. You could start maybe a clothing brand with all these, or an animated GIF, and it's just like flashing cool, but in all different fonts. If you wanted to use that like on a website or resale platforms allowed him to play video or GIFs. I don't know if you think it was cool. Then I thought like I'll do some like icons, although like I don't really think he needs an icon. The name of the business is so cool. It's KHUUL, KHUUL. I think that by itself is more iconic than a picture of a hat or a shirt on fire or Ron lives in Estonia. National animal. Gray wolf. 80s style, colorful, double drop shadow. I think this is just kind of like a really cool scribble kind of tag thing. I don't really suspect any of these to win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ideas that I think could possibly work for what his needs, but ultimately it's not my brand. He's the person that has to sell this. I do not want to get super attached to any of these at this point. When he comes back with maybe changes, hey, can I do this to it or can I do that to it? Maybe he'll just approve one right away. I do a voucher and it's approved. You really do never know with a client. The shirt looks good on you, man.
As promised, I said I wouldn't sell it, and I'm not. It's one of the best shirts I've had. No kidding. Yeah, it fits me amazing. I have like certain fits, and this just looks really nice with some darker shades, and you know, I really like it. So
cool.
Thanks.
Cool, man. No worries.
I circled 3. It was at the top layer, the one with
the
sketch.
Okay. So this one right here.
Yeah. It was the middle layer, yes sir, and the bottom layer, the circle, and it had the KHUUL all over it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'd say we should work with the top layer. I asked some people around, you know, just to like share opinions.
Yeah.
A lot of the people, they like the circle one, but for me personally, when I think about logo, it has to have like that certain element. Once you see it, you're like, oh, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Kellogg's has the special K. You know, KHUUL may have its special K as well, and that K with like this really pointy, and the bottom like K, the line goes, because on the bottom one, you know, it would serve as like great merchandise.
You said people like that one, right?
Yeah. When I shared my opinions, you know, people said, "Oh, that's cool," and I started thinking myself. In addition, like the circle, it can be painted as Earth, you know, and it will have like KHUUL all over it, and that kind of like symbolize one of my values in this business as well, you know, being environmentally friendly and all that. We just have to test and see what works, you know. What's
working for you right now? What points I'm making to you when I see your facial expressions, you're reacting to. So I'm going for all that. You don't want Metallica?
As you said yourself, you know, you see that logo, the first thing you think is Metallica, not KHUUL Shop.
Yeah. Let's move on to the GIF I made.
Yeah, bro, the GIF was awesome. You have to send it me.
Okay.
I really like that. It was really awesome. It caught my attention instantly as I saw it.
My idea for that was so on your resale platforms, you're obviously posting pictures. Can you post video?
Post GIFs. not video. I mean, that GIF can be used in so many different ways. You know, first of all, I can use it on the platforms, the social media. You can use it personally. You can use it on the KHUUL SHOP Instagram, promotional materials. It will look like really eye-catching. People like to see visuals that move. GIFs are a huge thing.
Perfect.
They work really well.
Well, whatever we finalize, I'll make sure you have like 3 or 4 GIFs you can just use randomly. I'll make sure that happens for you. Let's talk about that idea. That idea sparked from like kind of like a punk rock DIY. I'm just going to draw a bunch of fonts, but I'm illustrating the font, like making a bone, making it scribbles, making it glitch, breaking it. I can make it melt, fire, sparkly. I can do a bunch of things to it, right? That will only work if you commit to that as a logo.
It's so versatile. Versatile, you know.
I want to maybe take 2 or 3 of these ideas, expand upon them. I would usually at this point love for you to say this one. But I've been in this situation before where, you know, I sent off the initial sketches and there's like a few ideas bouncing around in the client's head. I'm going to bite the bullet and go a little bit farther with 2 or 3 of these. So you're going to help me pick those in a minute here. Now, I'm not going to push these to absolute beauty. I just want to maybe sell the idea to you a little bit more. It's going to be a slowly refining till the end. Do you want to hear which three I want to pick, or do you want to go first?
Go first.
This one right here, one on the first page. This one in the green and blue to make it look more earth friendly. And then this punk rock.
I'm gonna pick 3 as well.
Okay.
The first one, again, is the circle with the earth on the background. That's one.
Okay.
The punk rock style, personally, I kind of being held back, but you know what you're doing with these things. You might be able to reconvince me with these. It might be something to actually work with, and I might change my mind. But I'm thinking the last one, I'm still between the sketchy one I like versus the sketchy one you like. They're both good.
We're talking first page, first row versus second row.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, they're not so different.
Yeah, they're not.
See, the second row just seems a little bit cleaner to me.
I agree with you on that. But on the first row, like, I like the K. That's straight up. I just like the K.
Okay.
It looks unique, and it couldn't be used, like, as this, like, trademark element.
Well, I can make that K part of the second one. The second row, I can just bring that K in. Like, you know where the underline is? I can just connect that to the K, and then that branch at the top, just give it a flick.
Yeah, let's work with that. Let's try to bring that first row K to the second row and see how that works out.
I'm excited. This is sweet, man. I'm excited.
I'm hyped. I'm just straight up hyped, you know. I'm like, fuck, I want to see the final product. I want to create merch. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to get the website up, you know.
Cool.
I'm super hyped, man. I'm so full of energy right now.
We got 3 logos that we're going to be moving on. Row 1, row 2, merge them together. Row 3, we're going to explore the blue, green, earth idea. And then I'm going to have to try to sell you on the punk rock.
I challenge you to sell me the punk rock logo.
Perfect. Perfect. First up is the tag idea. First row K, and then bringing it down and putting it on that second row KHUUL. So Ron also kind of wanted to be able to have shop and music underneath it, and then also just have like the K by itself. What I'm really doing is I'm just drawing it a bunch of times, getting familiar with the shape, kind of training my hand to how to draw this. So what I'll do once I like a couple of these, I'll pull out the tracing paper and trace over it, just kind of refine it. So I found a couple that I liked. We took the K from the first one, brought it down, and then I added that HUUL. I kind of came out with some different variations. Kind of basic, I guess, if you want to tag font style. This is pretty much what you want. The one plain Jane version, you want a little bit more of a jazzed up version, and then you want your single letter. I think we accomplished that here, so let's move on to the next idea. Yeah, so next up here is the planet design. KHUUL in front of the planet. Wasn't my original idea for this idea. It was just like that quick font I can do. But Ron saw Earth and he connected with Earth friendliness. Reselling used clothing. There's definitely connection to the planet, and fashion is bad and you should be recycling your clothing for sure. Obviously I jumped in. I knew what the shape was going to be, so I made a template so I can just jump right in with tracing paper, start making it happen. I was struggling a little bit at first. I tried to throw some color down. I wasn't really feeling it, and I had the template, so I just kept going through, and then I figured out, let's put the moon in front, and we can have music and shop, because those are the two tags he wants to have on here, over top the moon. And then I was just like, oh, well, you know, what if I make them kind of like eclipsed, and tried to mess around with the color inside there. Still wasn't 100% feeling it, but then I figured, oh, well, why don't I add the sun? So in the top left hand corner, I added the sun, and I really started to like it. I added a couple of stars in there. I think it's really cool. Pretty excited about this one now. I started off thinking, okay, it was one idea, then it went to another idea, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to make this work? And it came together. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. KHUUL for sure. For sure. Ron challenged me to convince him of the punk rock, the original GIF idea. I accept your challenge. Like the last idea, started with a template. First idea, it was a tag. Just wanted to develop a handwritten style, feel it out. Second idea, I knew there was a shape that we wanted to accomplish, so I worked within that shape. This idea is dependent on that shape. So dependent on that shape. So I created that template, and all I had to do is make sure that everything that I draw fits within these parameters I'm setting. So once that's done, like, oh man, let me look at the notes here. We did so many fonts. This right here, this one would be the logo, the main logo. What it is, it's naked. No flesh, it's got no meat, it's got nothing on it. One of the things that KHUUL Shop does is sells clothing. So essentially Ron is dressing people up. He's dressing them up, and so let's play dress up with this font. It's naked. Let's go ahead and put some cookie on it. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and make it a little bit of a slime. Cool. Chrome it out real quick. Scribbly lines, so play with the type of line treatment. We got a little glitch happening here. The broken glass. The alarm clock telling me get my ass back to work. Damn alarm clocks. I know we all hate them. Then we got another idea. This one's the anti-logo. Alright, it's just a blacked out logo. It kind of stems from an idea I have from an old grocery store named No Frills logo, making fun of logos. Graphic design joke. Anyway, we did the anti-logo with some bones on it too. These ones were more for me. I was having fun. This is the template I built it off of. Challenge been accepted. He has to approve the challenge or go for one of the other two ideas. They're not bad ideas, so you know. But you know what? If this doesn't convince him, then it wasn't meant to be. What have I done to myself? Ron has sent us his approval video, but before we get to his approval video, I want to use this time to talk about the correlation between fashion industry and our environment, because it's not good. Not good at all. No. First of all, the garment industry is one of the biggest polluters of carbon on our planet. The major factor of that is polyester. Releases a lot of carbon. Not good. On top of that, when you wash your clothes, it releases microfibers into the waterways, which lead into our ocean. 500,000 tons each year get put into the ocean. 60% of those microfibers are polyester. More plastic for our ocean. What I'm trying to get at is, let's recycle, resell, reduce, repurpose, reimagine, resew, relove, so we can regrow our planet. Trade your clothing with a friend. Sell your clothing online. Donate it to a thrift store. And if you do buy something new, make sure it is quality. That way it can be reloved by somebody else. You don't need fast fashion. We don't need 12 to 24 collections a year. Thanks for putting up with that. A little reminder from the planet. We have a winner. Well, I'll play Ron's video and he's gonna tell us which one he's moving on with. I'll see you on the other end.
Hey bro, about the logos, I went over your sketches and we are gonna go with the second one, which was the sketch style. The reason being is just I personally feel like it's more unique. What I also really liked about the sketch style is, you know, you can scale it up. You have the bigger one, you have the medium level one, and you have the small version of the logo. And the small version, to me personally, is also really important. You know, I can put it on my website as the favy icon. I think that's how you spell it. And on like labels or whatever, it just works. So yeah, let's go with the sketchy style.
Okay. The taggy, sketchy style wins. Congratulations to that idea and that sketch. Persevering, coming through all the way from the beginning to the end. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. Low key, I wanted the Planet Design to win. Oh well, yeah, I'm super pumped for him. Let's hit Illustrator. Boom. So there was just a couple things inside this font that were just kind of bothering me a little bit. I just wanted to rework. I want to make sure he has enough options as possible. So when we prove him, we'll show him this option traced out in Illustrator, cleaned up a little bit. And I also want to show him some other just slight variations of this too. In Photoshop and Illustrator, just whipping up those until I have a proof, and we'll see what his final thoughts are on that. So we sent those logos off to Ron, just a couple different variations, just to make sure he had his options. He went with the original one, didn't have to do all that work, but you know what? I'm glad I did, because at least I tried to make sure that's what he wanted. Start saving some logos. I do want to talk about the type of logos you should be saving for your client. Definitely want a vector file, and that's going to be our .ai. So .adobe Illustrator original file. We're also going to give him a PDF file, which is a portable document format. Kind of like a compressed version of your vector file. The file you want to be giving to any print shop, or you want to be passing around to any vendors. You got your PDF, which is saved from your AI. All right. And then we're obviously going to give him JPEGs. I'm sure Ron won't have any problems using a JPEG. Also, we're going to make sure he gets a PNG. I see this mistake made a lot. The final logo you give to your client, you don't have a PNG with a transparent background in the logo package. A PNG is a portable networks graphic, web-based file, so you cannot use it in CMYK. Do not send PNGs to your print shop. But what it's going to do is holds a transparent background, so you'll be able to put his logo on top of pictures for watermarks, designing his own web posters, web banners. He can put this on top of his pictures for Instagram posts. He's going to have fun using the PNG. So Ron has also asked for GIFs. When we were talking about it in our little client meeting, he seemed to hold a pretty high value to them. He mentioned that people like to see visuals that move. If he's selling his wares on the internet, I bet he wants to stand out. How can I use GIFs in an interesting way? I was thinking I could make some GIFs to help him sell his wares, so you can put on top of his Instagram stories to grab attention so they flash and stand out over everybody else's pictures. So I got one that says new to KHUUL SHOP, right? And this one's got lightning bolts, dropping soon, cool bro. I even have like little size tags and price tags that are in little starbursts that rotate. Yeah, go ahead and check out this little Instagram story I made. Plug in a bunch of these little GIFs I made and use them, see how they work. You can see if they're working the way I want them to work, and they do. This is cool. KHUUL. The challenge round. Remember that? He wants to use that for merch, and mentioned that I can throw my logo in like that top right hand corner where that L dips out and throw his logo in there, kind of like a collaboration. Check it out. I like it. Pretty excited about it. Flat out and say it that it's cool. Oh man, that's so sweet. Pretty pumped about it. Ron, I think we should talk. Yeah, we should talk. We did 3 sketchbook pages full of cool ideas for Ron. He picked 3 to move to the second round. He settled down and picked 1 choice to move forward. Once we knew that choice, we went ahead and created him a logo package, a gift package, and a merch package. So Ron, you got everything you need, bro. And if you need anything more in the future, you let me know, man. You know how to get a hold of me. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed enjoyed putting this video together, working with Ron to get him a logo for KHUUL Shop. It was a blast. I had so much fun. YouTube, what do you think? What logo would have you picked? The DIY punk rock style, would you just committed and made that the logo? The taggy style like Ron picked, or would you have picked the earth style like I wanted to go with? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Please, if you want more logo design videos, maybe if there's a section that I glossed over and you want me to go a little bit deeper and explain, let me know. Thank you for hanging out for this entire video. You'll be seeing me again, trust me. This is Nick, Tom, and John. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. KHUUL Shop, KHUUL. Woo! Done. On to the next.
Hey bro, people love it. I'm constantly getting positive feedback how it looks aesthetically so pleasing. It makes it a lot more professional. Visit us at KHUUL Shop on Instagram. If you ever come to visit Estonia, we might be hosting some parties. Then check us out at khuul.music. If you are subscribed to Nick, Tom, and John on YouTube, you come visit our shop. You'll get 10% off your whole order for the end of this year. Just send us a picture that you're subscribed and we'll send you a gift code, and you can use it throughout this whole year and get 10% off every time. So subscribe.